It's time to live your stronger life. Hey, I'm Sammy, physio coach and nutritionist, and your hype girl for creating your stronger life. Here, we ditch the quick fixes and build real strength inside and out. So whether you're here to tone up, drop the body fat, build muscle, mental resilience, or ditch the diet culture, or just feel bloody good in your skin, you're in the right place. So let's get into it. Hey fam, hope you have all had an amazing day so far. So in today's episode, we are tackling one of the most frustrating things in any fat loss journey, the dreaded plateau. Dun, dun, dun. You know the one, you've been putting in all the work, the scale has been moving, the clothes are getting looser, you're feeling amazing, like, oh my God, this is so easy, everything's going so good. And then everything goes into stall. It's like your body just throws on the brakes. And you're like, what the heck is going on? I haven't made any changes, I'm doing everything right, why am I not progressing anymore? And don't worry, it's not just you. This is normal. In fact, your body is designed to plateau because your body is always fighting back against a fat loss phase. Your body doesn't enjoy being in a calorie deficit. Your body doesn't enjoy pushing for fat loss because we are doing something that is taking it out of homeostasis, which is coming out of like where it likes to sit. Like your body doesn't like change. It likes to stay consistent. It likes to stay the same. Think about when you're cold, it's going to shiver to warm you back up. When you're hot, you're going to sweat to cool back down. Your body's always constantly fighting, ebbing and flowing backwards and forwards to keep your body in homeostasis, which is to keep the body in balance. But the good news is there are specific and smart ways that we can push through a plateau. There's different strategies without just, starving yourself or going more hours of cardio or more like drop the food. That's not necessarily the strategy. There's all different things that we can do, and we're going to break that down in this episode. But first, let's talk a little bit more about why plateaus actually happen so you get a bit of a better understanding. So first of all, why do plateaus happen? There are a couple of different reasons. One is there is an element of metabolic adaptation. So as you lose weight, you literally burn fewer calories because your body weighs less, so it needs less energy to function day to day. For example, like if you started carrying around 10 kilo dumbbells around all day long, you're going to utilize more energy to function day to day because it is harder to carry 10 kilos around all day long. So once you lose 10 kilos, you can imagine that your body's lighter. It's easier to move around. It's not going to take as much just baseline energy. So your total daily energy expenditure naturally is going to decrease a little bit because it's just easier to function and to move and, climb the stairs, get up and down when you are that little bit lighter. So that is one small aspect of it. Now, it's not perfect, but about, let's say, 10 to 15% decrease in your daily energy expenditure when you lose about 10 kilos of body weight, for example. So it's not a huge amount, but it is something that does contribute and we do need to account for it. So if you've lost a significant amount of weight and you haven't changed your calorie intake, then perhaps you're just not in a calorie deficit anymore because you simply need less energy to function day to day. Like I said, it is a small amount, so it's not likely this is the only reason, but it is a reason that can contribute to why you have hit a plateau. Your body is also trying to conserve energy as much as it can because it doesn't like being dieted and starved for a long period of time. Even a modest calorie deficit is still technically starvation to the body. So it will kind of fight back into some different aspects, which I'm going to go through the other reasons why it happens as well. But a cute little analogy is like, think of this as like your phone going into low power mode. And so you know how, it'll shut off a little bit quicker, or, it does do certain things in the background to try and savor that last like 10 to 15% of your phone battery. This is kind of what we're talking about with metabolic adaptations. So another one is diet fatigue. So when you're dieting for a really long period of time, you are potentially going to start craving more food. You're going to get hungry more often. You're going to feel less satiated, and you're going to have like what people will call like food noise, and you just feel over it, and like you just cannot keep sticking to your diet as consistently. And then that can also lead to one, overeating having extra little bits and bobs without realizing it. Because of that, you're getting a little bit more relaxed with your portion sizes, you're measuring, you're tracking, and you'll also been doing it for a while, so you're like, I don't need to be as strict because I've been doing it for so long. And so it's really easy to get this diet fatigue and also less strict with your tracking. And so those small extra things can add up over time. It doesn't take much to take you out of that calorie deficit into your maintenance. A few splashes of milk in your coffee here or there, a little squirt of sauce on the side, you don't need to worry about it. Oh, a little nibble while you're putting your food out on your plate. All those little bits and bobs like that can add up to suddenly now you're no longer in a calorie deficit. And especially if you are really hungry and you've been dieting for a really long period of time and the food noise is there, it's really easy to just grab and go these little bites and bits and bobs without realizing, because your body's like trying to make you eat more food because it's sick of being in a dieting phase. So that is another consideration: diet fatigue and being less strict with your tracking. And then the third thing, so we've got our body's response, like subconscious body responses, the diet aspect of things, the diet fatigue, and now we've also got our activity levels. And you may not even notice this, but again, your body's gone into that low battery power mode. It could make you just naturally move a little bit less during the day. You're going to fidget a little bit less. You're going to get a little bit lazier. You're going to, do bits and bobs where if you don't manage your step count and your calorie output, like your energy output through training, through cardio, through steps, if you're not conscious of that, all of those things are naturally actually going to decrease a little bit because your body is trying to conserve energy. There's I feel like a bit of a joke with some people who are on comp prep. Comp prep, your house is turning into a pigsty because you just don't have the energy to keep it clean. You notice that because you're getting lazier. You're not doing all the things that you normally do. And so all of that non-exercise energy expenditure, it starts to decrease, which can take up a huge portion of your normal daily energy expenditure. So therefore, if you combine this diet fatigue, extra little bits and bobs, the metabolic adaptations that can occur, and your reduced activity levels, even without you realizing, all of those three things together can take you out of a calorie deficit. And now suddenly, this is why you've hit a plateau. This is another reason why it's really beneficial to keep track of your steps, so then you can make sure they stay consistent. That's one thing you can track and keep consistent throughout your dieting phase, so then that doesn't accidentally decrease as well. This is also another reason why it's not responsible to just use cardio as a tool to drop weight, because if you push your body to do high intensity exercise such as cardio, your body will actually naturally be like, all right, we've done a lot of exercise now, we're going to be lazier for the rest of the day, if you don't realize it, because it's still trying to always conserve your energy and keep you at this homeostasis. So sometimes doing lots and lots of cardio, if you're not aware of what else you're doing throughout the day, can actually backfire because your body's just going to try and balance the scales out by the end of the day as well with your energy output and energy input. So that's why we need to be aware of what activity we're doing, tracking our steps, trying to keep ourselves nice and active, and staying on top of our nutrition and tracking our nutrition. Because if we're not knowing exactly what calories we're having and what our macronutrients look like, we're not measuring and tracking things accurately, you will subconsciously start eating more because your body is trying to balance the scales. It's trying to keep you in homeostasis. And all of these things are going to take you into this plateau, this dreaded plateau. Your body is trying to protect you from losing more weight. It's just biology doing its thing, but it doesn't mean you're stuck forever. And there are a few different ways that we can break through the plateau. Kind of depends on a bit of context and where you're at, how you're feeling, if you have a timeline, things like that. So we're going to jump into that now too. Okay, option 1, we can push on and dig deeper. This is a good option for you if you've been dieting for less than 12 weeks. You still feel good physically and mentally. You're not obsessively thinking about food all the time, and you've got room to drop your calories and or increase your activity. So how do we do it? We can drop our calories slightly, just 5 to 10%, maybe 100 to 200 calories. We're not slashing it crazy. We just want to do a small enough drop in the calories to keep pushing us into that calorie deficit zone. How do you know how much? Well, you're just going to have to do it, test it, see how your body responds, and go from there. We can also increase energy output. Start with adding an extra 1,000 steps to your daily step target, or maybe you're going to add a 20 to 30 minute steady state cardio session in. Nothing major, just enough to keep nudging the steps forward. You want to try and do the smallest action possible to keep pushing forward, so then you have more tools in your toolkit that you can keep implementing when more plateaus inevitably happen. Another thing is to tighten up your tracking. Double check your weighing, double check your logging, double check your tracking, making sure everything is on point here and there's no lapses in the process. Because it could be you don't even need to change your calories out or calories inside of things. It's just you need to go, I've actually slacked off on my tracking a little bit, and you just got to tighten that up, and then suddenly things keep moving along as well. So they are your different options. So if you're in this zone, sometimes it is just these small adjustments which are enough to break through this plateau without burning yourself out and burning out silly. But I will admit this is not an option for everyone. You need to be feeling good. You don't want to have been dieting for a really long period of time and have this like capacity to be able to push on. And also if you're like on a bit of a strict timeline, like I'm trying to get ready for a bodybuilding show, well, it doesn't matter how I feel. I'm probably going to have to push on and dig deeper no matter what, because we're trying to get ready for stage at X time. Or if you've got a photo shoot coming up, you're trying to get ready by X time. Ideally, you give yourself enough time, though, that you can also have little refeeds and diet breaks and things like that along the way anyways to help prevent plateaus. But that is one aspect. Just to consider that pushing on and digging deeper is not always the right solution for you, and I do find a lot of ladies that I talk to would actually benefit from one of these next two options that I'm about to break down, because I speak to so many ladies who have been dieting for months and months and months and trying to diet for years and years and years. Pushing on and digging deeper is not the answer. So option 2 is having a refeed or a little diet break. So this is for you if you've been dieting for anywhere between 8 to 20 weeks or so. You're feeling sore, you're a bit tired, but you're not fully burnt out, but you're like, I'm kind of getting over it a little bit. You've got some time flexibility with your goal as well. So we're starting to feel a bit, but we're not like totally destroyed yet. So, you may be having a bit of food noise. You may be noticing that you're always quite hungry and you're starting to get tired. Your training sessions are starting to turn into a bit of a slog, and it's just getting a little bit more challenging. And maybe your calories are getting a little bit low, that you're like, I'm actually really hungry and tired and I really don't want to drop my calories that low just yet. If you're starting to notice like a few negative side effects, but nothing too wild, you're just starting to see some sprinkles of it and you've been dieting for a while, this is where we want to implement a refeed or a diet break. So a refeed is just like 1 to 3 days where we bring the carbs up, calories are at maintenance, and then you drop back to the deficit. So this would be more like if you're, really just not able to get satiated, you're feeling a bit sore, feeling a bit tired, the body's just feeling a bit run down, have a couple of high carb days, make yourself feel amazing, and then you can drop back into it. Some people may need a bit longer though, and so we'd have a diet break, which is 1 to 2 weeks at maintenance. You literally just jump back up to your maintenance calories, spend anywhere from 1 to 3 days up to 1 to 2 weeks, refresh, reset, boost your recovery, reduce your stress, get back to training harder, give your metabolism a little love. And we do this mainly from eating carbohydrates, but it does give you a little bit of food freedom and food flexibility, such as if you had a little holiday or a little getaway or a little event coming up, maybe it's smart to implement a refeed or a little diet break around any events that you may have in your life as well. But we do want to try and keep it mostly from whole foods, protein-rich foods. Like, it's not like go wild on all the junk food sort of thing. It's like, yes, you may have some more food freedom. Maybe you can enjoy a meal out here or there, but still want to mainly do this maintenance calories from whole foods. So you're actually helping your body recover and reduce stress, not go eat everything under the sun, eat all the fast foods and increase inflammation and stress, because then that just defeats the purpose of the refeed or diet break. But that is another really, really fabulous option as well. And then option 3 is one that a lot of ladies need and a lot of ladies don't want to be doing, which is reversing to maintenance and spending some quality time there. You are not going to build the body of your dreams in a constant calorie deficit. And in fact, you want to be spending more time at maintenance than you really do in a calorie deficit. So more often than not, this is the option ladies need, but it's definitely not the option that ladies enjoy. Well, once you learn to love eating at maintenance, you will enjoy it, but most people are terrified of it, which breaks my heart that people are terrified to actually eat at the amount of calories that their body actually just needs to function. Like, we need to learn that maintenance is the best thing in the whole entire world. So reversing to maintenance is for you if you've been dieting for more than 12 to 16 weeks, you're feeling very fatigued, you're very food focused, you're never satiated, you're constantly stressing about what's your next meal going to look like, how can I fill the volume out, how much lettuce do I have in the fridge to make sure I'm actually kind of satiated for 5 minutes. You've got no more room to cut your calories down or add any more activity. Your sleep has hit the wall, your hormones are horrible, you're just feeling like absolute crap, and you know that feeling. You are over it, you are done, you are tired, your training sucks, your energy sucks, you're cranky, you have no emotions. Like, there's just so many different things that are showing us signs that you just need a good old maintenance break. So right now, you're done with your dieting. And how are we going to do it? We are going to slowly increase your calories. Now, yes, you can jump straight up to maintenance. That is an option. If you're feeling really horrid, you could jump straight up to maintenance and go from there. But another option is you could slowly increase your calories through a reverse diet. And so from the moment where you start that reverse diet until you hit your maintenance calories, you're still technically going to be in a calorie deficit. And more often than not, ladies really start getting some amazing progress during that time period because, one, you're giving your body more food, so you're going to have more energy, you're going to naturally be more active, you're going to be enjoying the process, you're fueling your body up, your body's getting recovered, it's being happier, like all of that sort of stuff's happening, but you're still kind of in a calorie deficit, so you start dropping body fat again. It's this really magical phase where the only reason why I do it sometimes is because I'm like, you're going to keep getting results until we hit your maintenance, and then I am going to still make you have a maintenance break, but at least you get a little bit of fat loss and a little bit of progress during that time as well, so it's kind of good for your mind. Even while you're increasing the calories, you actually still keep getting a bit of results. But if you're feeling really, really crappy, we're just going to jump straight to maintenance. So there's different ways around it. But basically, when we are reversing, we're going to add like 100 to 200 calories per week until you're at your maintenance. Or if you just jump straight to maintenance and then your body's maintaining, then we can continue to add a little bit more food and try and build your maintenance calories as high as possible without adding on any extra body fat. And in that way, you're really going to be pushing to, then you can really focus on like pushing your strength. It's a perfect time to be building muscle and focusing on energy levels and general health, hormone happiness, metabolism, enjoying life. And it's just basically going to set you up for a really effective diet phase next. Now, when you build more muscle during this time period, then when you do go through this next dieting phase, you're actually going to have better results because you're going to have more muscle built up. You're going to be able to actually look more toned when you finish this next dieting phase. So it's a really smart move on multiple levels. It actually is going to get you better results for the long term. And you want to stay here for a while. 8 to 16 weeks maybe. It really depends on how long you have been dieting for, how your body's responding, how you're feeling. But I would say at minimum 8 to 16 weeks at maintenance to really reset your energy, training, motivation, even though, I say don't always rely on motivation, but it does really help still. Your metabolism, your hormones, your sleep regulation, your food focus, everything in between. And now this is a very important time to still not go effort mode with your food. Like, you still want to be focusing on whole food diet, like really quality food, so then you can really recover really beautifully. But it does give you a little bit more food freedom as well to enjoy some meals out and things like that as well. And this is exactly what I did with one of my clients, Karen. I actually at the moment have her story pinned on my Instagram page if you want to see. And so when she came to me, she'd been dieting for a very, very long period of time. She'd lost a stack of weight. It was very impressive. She lost a stack of weight, but she was doing it on very low calories. She had really low energy. She was super tired, super fatigued. She was cranky. Her training performance sucked. And she didn't have any muscle. She felt like she lost a lot of muscle during her weight loss phase, and she really just didn't know what to do. And she was stuck on, it was like 14 to 1500 calories. She was terrified of carbs. She was doing hours and hours of cardio, like did not know what to do. So what did we do? We cut right back on the cardio and we slowly increased her calories up to maintenance. And so she actually got up to about between 2100 and 2200 calories. And we maintained there for a good couple of months until there was a good time in her life where she was like, right, I'm ready to drop back down into my dieting phase and let's go again. And so that's exactly what we're doing now. But she's built up so much more muscle that she just looks like fuller in a really good way and shapely, and she's filled out in this really beautiful way. Her legs, her glutes, her arms, her back muscles, like everything just looks absolutely fabulous. And she's enjoying this dieting phase because we've been able to build her calories up so high. She didn't have to go all the way back down to 1400 calories or lower in order to consistently be dropping body fat now. So she's prepped herself properly. So if you want to go listen to her tell you about her story, she's pinned on my Instagram profile, top right corner. She's pinned as one of my reels. So which is the right choice for you? And there's no one size fits all answer. The right move depends on your body, your goals, your mindset, your timeline, your energy levels, how you're going, how you've been, where you're up to. Like there are so many different pieces of the puzzle that you need to consider, and often this is why it's really helpful to have a professional help you to decide on how to do it and to navigate through that process as well. But the biggest takeaway here is plateaus are not failure. They're just feedback that your body is telling you something that we need to make a change. So listen to it, and we choose the right next move, and then we keep progressing. And don't hang your head on don't get all upset and hang your hat on if it's like, oh my God, I have to go out to maintenance, I'm such a failure. Like it's nothing like that. Like taking a maintenance break can be super duper beneficial to help you keep pushing forward without burning yourself out. Sometimes you do need to pause, pull back, and then you can get started again. In fact, in the middle of my comp prep, we did a 2-week diet break. And I'll tell you what, I really didn't want to do it. I was like, like 1 week, I was like, okay. And then my coach was like, we're going to do 2 weeks. And I was like, seriously, we're on a timeline. We need to keep dieting. But you know what? When we got back into that dieting phase, I was like, I feel like I just started prep all over again. I had just been dieting for 12 weeks and then we had a 2-week dieting break. And then we got back into it and I was like, I feel fresh. I feel like I just started prep all over again. And it was absolutely amazing. And it's made sure that the progress has been able to consistently continue. And I didn't feel burnt out because of that break in between. And it's made this prep so much easier, having a little break. So breaks can be purposeful and beneficial, and it doesn't have to derail your progress. So see it as an opportunity, because I know a lot of ladies are really terrified to eat at maintenance, which absolutely breaks my heart. Once you feel how amazing you feel when you actually feel your body enough in your training, in life, and just how your muscles look, just everything, when you learn to eat enough food, it's absolute magic. It's absolute magic, I promise you. And also, remember, progress is not always linear. So if you keep showing up, we're making small adjustments, we're playing the long game, you will get there and you will be so much happier with your results than if you do a quick fix, drop the weight as quick as I can in 6 weeks, rebound out of it, regain all the weight, have to do another quick fix for 6 weeks. Like just going through that cycle, you just feel stressed and horrible. Play the long game, build the physique that you love, and you will be so much happier with the results for the rest of your life. All right, that is it from me, fam. That is my rant and ramble. Now, if you are stuck in a plateau and you don't know what to do, jump into my Instagram and message me Plateau Masterclass, and I will send you a masterclass, a video version of this, so you can see the slideshow that comes attached to kind of this podcast as well. So Plateau Masterclass, message me that directly on Instagram and I shall send you the link. And otherwise, I shall see y'all in the next one. Thanks so much for listening. If you found this episode valuable, please rate, review, and subscribe. And I'd love if you shared this on your Instagram and tag me Sammy_Livestrong. And if you'd like to learn more about my coaching and join the Project Livestrong family, please message me Livestrong on Instagram and I'll see how I can help. I'll see you next time.